Hello everybody, Sean here, and we're looking at the Guardian Dragon boss, a later boss in the Dark Souls 2 game. And the Guardian Dragon is a red dragon, meaning he is primarily going to use fire-based attacks or melee-based attacks from obviously his head, feet, and or tail, depending on the location you are with his body. And the Guardian Dragon is actually a bit of an interesting fight because it's surprisingly easy. I say that as I take a dragon foot to the face. But it is actually surprisingly easy, especially if you're a ranged character, because there's lots of opportunities, like you're seeing right now, where the boss will go to ranged, and melee characters simply need to wait for him to come back. But a ranged character is just going to have a field day with all the instances where the boss goes away, and you could just constantly pelt him with damage. Anyways, the primary attacks you're going to want to be concerned about are his fire-based ones. They're obviously going to be the strongest. That is the dragon's trademark, and he's got three of them. He's got one where he's on the ground, which you just saw. He'll stand still, breathe fire in a forward cone. He'll fly into the air and breathe fire downwards, or he'll fly onto a wall and breathe fire kind of like at an angular position. You're going to see it perfectly right here. When he's on the wall and when he's in the air, the fire is going to hit the ground and then kind of fan out into a cone. So you do need to make sure you get very far away. Whether you're melee, caster, archer, throwing knife expert, doesn't matter. You need to get very far away. That fire hits very, very hard. Even if you come in wearing full fire resistance gear, it's still going to hit very hard. With that said, if you are a pyromancer, you also know you can cut off his tail. If you are a pyromancer, Flash Sweat is going to be an amazing spell for this fight. Gigantic boost to your fire defense, pretty much nullifying his fire breath. However, Flash Sweat only lasts a couple minutes, so you might need to recast it a few times. Also note, like I said briefly, you can cut off his tail. It just eliminates tail attacks. Unlike Souls games prior to this, you don't get anything for cutting off his tail, so don't expect the Drake Sword to drop and it to be extremely overpowered like it may have been in Dark Souls 1. Otherwise, if you're a melee character, you're just going to want to constantly stand by his feet. That will pretty well eliminate every attack that he does aside from the foot stomp, and you could just alternate feet when he's stomping one, go to the other. There's a fireball attack right there that he just did. It's basically he basically flies in the air as if he's going to breathe fire, but instead just shoots a fireball. It's pretty easy to get out of the way of, and it's actually weaker than the overall fire breath. So if the fireball hits you, it probably won't kill you. You could see even though I was at half health, I still lived fine. But other than that, it's really not a hard fight. Again, ranged characters should just wait until he's stuck to the wall or stuck in the air, and then pelt him with arrows, magic, whatever tickles your fancy. Of course, he is a fire dragon, so naturally he's going to be more resistant to fire. However, lightning and normal sorcery, soul arrows work just fine on him. Not sure about bleeding and poison, but potentially poison. I could see poison doing very well. Not sure about bleeding. Probably is pretty resistant to both of them, but the Ruined Sentinels are pretty resistant to it as well, but you could still poison them, so you never know. But there you go, that's the Guardian Dragon. Hope this helps you out a little bit. I thank you for watching, and we'll see everyone next time.